Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled, My wife left me for 3 months and recently begged me to take her back. I said no, and now everyone seems to be against me. I need some advice, strangers. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. So let's get right into it. Well, let me give some background information as the situation will be hard to understand without it. 7 years ago, I got married to the girl of my dreams, Denise, fake name. We had been dating for 2 years before that, and it was like a dream come true. That changed after our marriage. After our marriage, she constantly started feeling down and out of it, and eventually I got her to go to a doctor who sent her to a therapist, and from there we found out she had depression to do with things from her past that she was trying to forget. I decided to be as supportive as I could be. I took care of most of the housework, despite working 40 hours a week, and told her to just get herself in order, and if she needed to talk to me, I would be there for her. That was 6.5 years ago. Before she left, she was still depressed. She basically only lays in bed and complains. She does nothing. We had no intimacy, no intercourse, no cuddles, no going out. My entire day was filled with work and housework. Day in and day out, I worked my A off. Came home to a mess of a house and started cleaning up. Starting dinner and so forth. At the end of the day, I was exhausted, and all I could expect was for Denise to unload more of her trouble on me and complain about herself, me, and everything around her. I could not even hang out with my buddies to get away from it all, as she would relentlessly call me saying she was scared and everything, so I also had no social life. Not that I had time for it anyway. But despite it all, I pushed through, hoping that sooner or later she would break out of it and we could have a proper life together, as I loved her. And as they say, for better and worse, and this was quite clearly the worst. Possibly the worst it would ever be. 4 months ago, she got a new therapist, and 3 months ago, that therapist suggested she needed time away from me as her depression started when we married, so I may be the cause of it. The moment she told me, I was crushed. I started doubting myself, blaming myself, worrying. But beneath it all, this creeping sense of having done something for her, having sacrificed years of my life as a cash cow and a servant to her to lay in bed, and this is my thanks? It is my fault now? But I rejected that feeling, trying to talk through it. But she decided to leave and stay with her mother, saying she needed time away from me and that I may be the cause of her depression and so forth. Honestly, the entire argument is a blur in my head. I spent the next month when she moved out calling her, her family, begging and humiliating myself just to get her back, apologizing for everything I may have done wrong. Honestly, I was close to ending it all, as I was so hopeless at that point. But that month passed, and as it passed, I couldn't help but feel relieved. I came home and it was quiet. I could indulge in my hobbies, which I had not done in years. The place was not a mess every time I came home. I could relax, and 2 months in, I even realized I could hang out with my buddies again, grabbing a beer, enjoying life, and slowly I started to realize that I had been miserable this entire time. Slowly, that turned into more and more realizations before I realized I honestly did not love her anymore. I felt like my youth was wasting away. I could do much, much better than this. I felt like I was a caretaker of a handicapped old lady. Hell, I still looked good, and as I went out, I started once again gaining back my self-confidence. Women would flirt with me. I felt wanted, even though I never did flirt back. After all these realizations, I suddenly got a call from my wife, saying she made a huge mistake. She was sobbing her eyes out, and how she was an idiot taking the therapist's words as fact, and how much she loved me. For a moment, I wanted to say yes. Yes, please come back. But I couldn't. I just blurted out and said to her she had left me and I was done with this relationship. I told her I would get her divorce papers, and I told her I had wasted enough time as it was, and this final action of hers was the nail in the coffin. After that, I just dropped the phone, started crying for a bit before turning in and feeling liberated. The issue now is that everyone in my family is telling me I am making a mistake. I should take her back. I owe it to her to try and make it work. Marriage is not always fun, etc. The thing is, I never had fun in this marriage. I can't remember the last time I had fun and wasn't miserable. We are both young and fit, and we never even go out. Hell, the last time we had intercourse is over a year ago. All I am to her is a effing servant, as it seems, and I'd rather live along than spend one more hour taking care of her. But on the other end, I doubt myself. Am I really dumping someone that is depressed? I feel horrible about it. I feel like a failure. I just need advice. And the OP has some edits for us. Wow. I stepped away from my phone for a while and returned to tons of comments. Thank you all so much. I will try to read them all. While I have a hard time defending my wife right now, let me clarify something that is popping up in the comments. I know for a fact that she did not sleep around with anyone while we were separated. And the first comment says, no, absolutely not. You have clear evidence that your health and happiness are 10 times better when you are not in that relationship. I have debilitating mental health issues, and I would never treat my husband like that or blame him for my depression. It's a cruel and awful thing to say to someone who's taking care of you full time. I don't care that she was blindly listening to her therapist. She should have taken 1 minute to think about the relationship from your perspective. You cannot control her actions or behavior, but you can control your boundaries with her. Put up those walls and do not let anyone tear them down, not her or her family. Be selfish and do what is best for you. And the second comment says, you are not the cause of her mental health issues. You were supportive and tried to help her. She didn't want the help. You can't control that. It sounds like you've mentally and emotionally checked out, and that's okay. You deserve to be happy and to have a partner who doesn't blame you for their issues. You are young. Move on with your life and find happiness, whether that's alone or in another relationship. And the third comment says, you are fully justified to never take her back. Depression sucks, yes, but she clearly didn't do anything to try to get better. You cannot treat depression by giving in and having someone enable you. No offense, you were just doing what you thought would help. She's been like this for too long. You haven't been happy at all. Please leave. Enjoy your freedom. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment below and let me know if there's any other subreddits you guys would like me to make videos on, and also like the video and please subscribe.